Watch carefully. This gambit looks clever until it explodes in your face. 8 moves, total collapse. White plays pawn to e4. Black replies pawn to b6. Owen's defense. White grabs space with pawn to d4. Black fianchettos with bishop to b7. Black's light-squared bishop, which is now eyeing the corner rook at h1. The bishop's path to the rook is theoretically there, but the e4 pawn blocks it. White develops bishop to d3, aiming at the kingside, and protects e4 pawn. Black strikes back with pawn to f5, the Matovinsky Gambit. The idea is to open the diagonal for the dark-squared bishop, which is eyeing the corner rook at h1. But there's a catch. The e4 pawn still blocks the line, so the bishop's dream attack isn't real yet. White calmly accepts the challenge. Pawn takes f5. And here comes the greed. Bishop takes g2. At first glance, it looks like black wins a pawn and threatens the rook in the corner. But this move is actually the beginning of the end. Many untrained eyes might miss it. It seems like black's bishop is on the attack, but in reality, it's just stepped into a tactical minefield. And here it is. White responds with queen to h5, check, instantly exposing the weakness on the king side and punishing black's overextension. Black pushes pawn to g6, blocking the check and threatening the queen. Now it looks like white is in trouble. Both the queen and the rook are under attack. But this is exactly what white wanted. The trap is already set. White continues with pawn takes g6, and the attack intensifies. Black can't recapture with the h-pawn because the rook on h8 would be left completely exposed. That diagonal is now on fire. Instead, black chooses counterplay, knight to f6. The knight jumps in, attacking white's queen, and for a moment, it looks like black might turn the tables. The queen is under attack, but the real danger for black is still growing. But here's where things get really interesting. Look closely. If that g-pawn ever moves, it opens a discovered attack from the queen straight down the h-file, but at the same time, the white queen is under fire from the knight. This is one of those tense, critical positions where you need to stop and think. So, what would you play here if you were white? Did you decide yet? Here we go. The pawn takes h7. Check. Wait a second, and this looks insane. It seems like the queen is delivering the check, but she's also hanging, still under fire from the knight on f6. Most players would panic here thinking they've blundered. But no. This is pure calculation. Every piece is working in perfect coordination, and the next move proves it. You may be thinking, hold on a second, it looks like white just lost everything. The queen is under attack, and the rook on h1 is about to be wiped off the board. It seems completely lost for white. But here's the twist. That's exactly what black thinks too. In reality, the game is already over. They just don't know it yet. Bishop to g6. Checkmate. The bishop delivers the final blow, protected by the queen on h5. The black king is trapped behind its own pawns. No squares, no escape, nothing left to do. What looked like a winning attack for black turns into total disaster. 8 moves, 1 unstoppable checkmate. That's why you don't play this gambit, because one false move and your attack becomes your downfall. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay sharp, stay tactical, only on Timur's Tactics.